everybody. This is Keith Gleason, host of Indie Comics Relay, creator for the Mighty Mascots and promoter for the Plastic City Comic Con. I'm here with another Mighty Mascots Origins video. Before I get into that, just a quick reminder that you can get all my comics on my website, heroenvy.com or recklesssidekick.com. We have everything on here. Just go to the store section, check out all the books. I bundle them up in sets of 3, but there's also, if you're looking for a letterer, I have a comic lettering service page of all the work I've done and different companies I've worked for. So if you're looking for a comic letterer, check that out as well. And then also just want to remind you, Plastic City Comic Con, July 20th, 2024, $10 admission, Hilton Doubletree in Leominster. Same great show, little tiny price to get in. So check that all out when you get a chance. All right. So I do these videos from time to time. I plan on going through all the different characters that I've created for the Mighty Mascots series. And I may talk about all my other comics at some point as well too. But I always like to take a character that, is a pivotal part of the comic, and I'm working my way through the entire series. So I'm still within those first 3 issues of the Mighty Mascots. And I figured I would talk about the female character that we have in the group today. Well, she's sort of like, what do they call, the Avengers always had the reserve members, remember that? Or like the reserve team. I feel like this character is like a reserve member, although I think in the newer issues, I'm going to be bringing her back, and I might make her a part of the team for a little while, because there's going to be some craziness. I'm leading towards like a nice big storyline too with the Mighty Mascots. With like, I want to just jump in and do like a whole thing with the fast food mascots, like Ronald McDonald and Burger King and all that. And I think that would be a great big crossover, and I think having Kimi, the Indian warrior girl, back as part of that will be like a huge, and she's a fan favorite character. I found out, the funny thing, I always liked the character, and I always when I was visioning this whole series for mascots, like, just thinking of all the different mascots that have existed on packages and stuff over the years. And the Land O'Lakes girl was always such a cool mascot. Like, even when I was, I'd go to the grocery store with my mother when I was a little kid, and, you walk around and you just look at everything. And I always loved that image, the painted image of her on the butter box, kneeling, holding the butter out. And I always just remembered it. I always thought that was just a cool, striking image for a product, And when I visualize this series, and having it mascot centric, I knew right away that I wanted to bring that character into the Mighty Mascots as like this badass female, warrior type, like a, modeled after something like Black Widow, or like even like Mockingbird, or Wonder Woman, essentially, like the quintessential female characters, So first thing I wanted to take a look at here to show you is, so when I did the research, I really looked into what, the whole Land O'Lakes thing, and like, it's weird now because if you follow this, I'm not sure most people do, but they've removed the Land O'Lakes lady off of the packages now. They used to have her kneeling on the package, and then I don't know, somewhere when political correctness took over, they decided that, it was stereotype and racist to have her on her knees like that and being like submissive. So they redesigned the package so it was just her face. But now they've even like said that that's racist, this crazy society we live in. But like, so they just removed her off the package completely. So now it's just the logo, Land O'Lakes, which is too bad, like I wish they kind of did something different with her, updated her. And I did that as well. And I'll talk about that in a second. But this is like an early ad with the Land O'Lakes girl, which little known fact that the Land O'Lakes girl was called Mia, which is it's funny. That's my niece's name as well. But this is kind of a cool thing where you could buy all. This is an ad from the '70s where you could buy all the different Indian, gear or accessories if you want, from Land O'Lakes. So that was kind of fun. But also wanted to show you guys this as well. And this was the first character sheet that I gave Ian for when I wanted. Well, I knew in issue 2 she was going to make the dramatic appearance and at the end of the cliffhanger. Spoilers if you haven't read it, but this is the instructions I gave him. I sent him a picture of the painted image, and then I asked him to make, that she's based off the Land O'Lakes girl. Make her, well, this is supposed to say badass, but it says bass ass. Yeah, so it's horrible. I hope he understood what I meant. Badass Indian warrior with bow and arrow, tomahawk, and knives. So I pictured like this, just a awesome warrior woman. So like and I wanted her to kind of save the day, which she does. She kind of turns the tide in Mighty Mascots issue 2 and into issue 3, and basically helps the Mascots secure the victory over the Crown team and Muckmouth. And she was created by Mondo using like a portion of the 3D printing formula, but he had taken that portion and kind of removed all of Dr. Baneful's evil engineering inside the formula so that she would turn out normal like the Mighty Mascots did. And the rest is history, So another funny thing I wanted to show you is this. My favorite wacky packages of Land O'Lakes. I always remembered this one. I don't know if you guys are a fan of wacky packages, but I always love this image of Lando quakes, butter churned by earthquakes. And I love that, she's like, like about to fall through the earth. And it just was funny. Like, I love that kind of stuff, So I just wanted to mention that too. That was like another memorable thing from my past that I loved. But also wanted to show you guys some of the pages from, here's Kimi's first appearance from issue 2 of the Mighty Mascots. It's the very last page when she shows up. And as you can see, the Tartar creeps are all worried, because this is someone that's going to turn the tides on the fight, I remember like when this was coming out too, like so a couple people had, said, you should probably change up her outfit and, make her a little more modern and less stereotypical and things like that. And I was just like, you know what? That's how it appeared on the package. So I wanted to start that way with, this is what she would look like if she came right off the package of the butter. So that's what I did. And I'll show you the new redesign I did later on in issue 8. When she makes a reappearance again. But here's some other awesome images of her. This is from the beginning of issue 3. This is when she, starts facing down Flawless, the leader of the Crown team. And I just love this image, and like him, he's all worried too, But then, some of the fight scenes here are really cool. Like there's this one, this is her shooting, just pounding arrows into Flawless. I love that panel. And then of course, Honey Flakes is just destroyed from his battle in issue 2 with the whole Crown team, especially Flawless. And then she kind of takes over and starts rallying the cry, and letting Honey Flakes rest up and, get back to his former self. Here's some other, I think this might be the same one. Yep. And then, is that all? Yeah, that's all I have I pulled for the early issues, but here's, where she shows up in the later issues. In the most recent issue, number 8, she makes an appearance as I start building subplots for, the future storylines of Mighty Mascots and stuff. And I was looking for another female villain that she could go face off against. And I had in the back of my head the Morton Salt Girl. And so this is my version of what that would be, So I have the Salt Queen. She has the signature umbrella, but her thing is she has this giant salt shaker filled with magical salt that makes these salt creatures that look like almost like ice things, but it's all hardened salt, and it's and she controls it, so this was the first appearance of Kimi back in Mighty Mascots #8. And as you can see right here, an arrow comes flying in and takes off all their heads. And then to continue the rest of these pages, this is the next one. And this is like her new look. After I saw that movie Prey on Hulu, which is like the Predator sequel, and it stars like this Indian woman that is a warrior that goes up against the Predator, and I liked the look of her. She had like a nice cool like outfit, and I told Ian when he showed her in these issues, I wanted her to update her like that movie, and so that's what he came up with. I love her look here with the pouch and all her weapons as well, and but this is just showing how badass she is. She's just like tough as nails, great fighter, great with weapons, perfect asset for the Mighty Mascots team. I would even say she's on the level of Honey Flakes as far as fighting ability and agility and weapons and all that. They're kind of neck and neck, which is also why there's a little bit of romantic tension between them as well, which I hinted at it at the end of issue 3. We'll see where that goes with these later issues. So after issue 3, she left the team because she wanted to go explore her origins. And this scene in issue 8, it takes place somewhere out in her travels, and she runs into the Salt Queen and realizes that the Alchem group's evil mascots are starting to permeate outside of Bottlejack City and showing up in different places in the rest of the world. And she realizes, hey, I might have to go back and help these Mighty Mascots, clear up this mess, And the last page is just her fighting the Salt Queen and basically just kicking the crap out of her, And then she sees on the salt shaker here, property of the Alchem group, and realizes that she's gonna have to go back and take a look and see what's going on and join up with the mascots again. I think that's all I have for pictures here. Yeah, unfortunately, I never had a lot of designs from Ian on this because when we were doing issue 2, I just basically sent him the Land of Lakes thing and said, do this, and make this girl badass and, do it in your own style. So we never had he never ran any character sheets behind, for that to me. And which is fine. Because when I saw the image, this first, the ending of issue 2, what he drew, and I was like, that's perfect. Doesn't need to be changed, so but I like how she's evolving, we're evolving kind of like the times, she starts off as the old packaging, and then now she's like, she looks more like a badass, like the Predator movie, so. But yeah, I like this character, and it's nice to have a female character on the team, But yeah, that's pretty much it. And she'll, like I said, she'll be showing up in the newer issues going forward. We may see her in issue 10. I'm writing that now. And then beyond, as I build the storylines out and build up to, I want to definitely do the fast food thing coming up soon. But that might not happen until like the mid, issues 15 on or something, because there's a bunch I want to do in between, like single issues and things like that. So yeah, I got ideas coming for Mighty Mascots for going forward for a while. So hope you guys stick with me and stick with the book. We're just trying to make fun superhero Saturday morning cartoon kind of stories, so hopefully you'll like it. And if you haven't read it, check out the links I shared at the beginning of the show. And I'm also on Global Comics now. So if you have a Global Comics account, if you have one of those subscriptions, you could use some of your page credits to read it on Global Comics. You can get the link on my website for that as well. All right, everybody. That's it for this episode of Mighty Mascots Origins. join us. We'll be back, I think a week from Monday live again. And then we're doing like 3 weeks in a row. We're also gonna be doing like an indie comic writing workshop coming up. I think mid-March. We're gonna bring on 3 of our favorite writers that have been on the show before. We're just gonna talk about the art of indie comic writing, or just comic writing in general. Like what's everybody's techniques, things like that. Should be a great episode. So definitely join us for that. And most importantly, everybody, read some comics. All right. We'll talk to you later. Have a great week and goodbye.